Aloha and mahalo. Let's look at OKO Arm Lock number 10. This one has a lot of interesting goodies in it, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Once again, this is going to be first introduction of what we would call a hook punch, or low right inverted punch with the opponent's right leg forward. 12 o'clock green zone. As he comes in, I'm step back slightly with my right, creating distance. Left arm is going to drop from our ready position into either a push down or into a dolphin tail position, striking the radial nerve on the arm or the wrist, depending on distance. As he does so, I'm going to immediately, once again, forearm strike or ridge hand to forearm. The ridge hand to forearm would increase the rolling factor on his arm, helping us to create the lock. As he does so, I'm going to rotate. I'm going to use my hips, think of the hula, and as I do so, my hand is going to contour up around his shoulders as my left hand pushes his arm almost behind his back. And I'm going to grab either the back of his shirt or his collar in order to create the in-air arm bar. Once again, from the beginning, 12 o'clock green zone, left foot slightly forward. As I step back, dolphin tail, my hands are up, and strike. I'm going to rotate to start to bring him along with me, canceling that second weapon. Once I have the lock here, notice this position. Does this look familiar? Oh yeah, Palama set 11, right? This position here in the air is the similar position as well as the rotation of our body as Palama set 11. Dolphin tail strike. Rotate, bring him here. Now, footwork at this point is dependent upon finding balance ourselves and putting our opponent off balance. Depending on whether we need 90 degrees rotation, 180 degrees rotation, or if you need to spin them around the world, 360 degrees rotation to take him to the ground. Once I have him here, I am going to, with my feet, continue an up clock or pizza slice position until I feel as though he's going to go down. In this particular case, let's go ahead and just use 180 degrees. I'm starting here. I'm going to continue rotating. I'm going to drop my right arm, push my left arm down, bring him down to the ground. He's going to either be on his back or his face, depending on whether he flips or he rolls. Follow up, cross, and cover out. This has been OKO Arm Lock number 10. Stay tuned for concepts and principles. Mahalo as we look at OKO Arm Lock number 10. This is your first inverted, or what we would call an uppercut punch. And it's trying to be sneaky about it. Maybe you could also practice this while having a rubber training knife in your hand as well as a poke, or as trying to stick them. But once again, our left foot's forward. We need to create distance, because especially if this is a knife, we need to create distance. We're going to use one of three different types of blocks depending on the situation. Whether that's a push down, whether that's what we call a lesser deflection block, where we go from, if this is my right hand, I'm going to go from 130 on my clock to 430 in a straight line. In other words, I'm going to drop the hammer on the weapon and then to control it. Or whether we use the dolphin tail. I'm going to drop using what we call the meaty part of my hand and wrist together as a unit to drop on that weapon. Once we have then struck the weapon, I need to create control. I'm going to bring that arm up and out, exposing the elbow, and once again, using that ridge hand forearm strike. Now from here, we want to control them. And what's interesting about arm lock number 10, immediately on reviewing this, I saw an immediate correlation of Palama set 11. So once again, I have dolphin tail struck. From this point, if my hands are closed and I rotate clockwise towards 130, oh hey! Palama set 11. Once again, dolphin tail strike. I'm going to rotate up and out But once again, notice the circular motion of my hands and my hips and my shoulders at the same time. It reminds me of someone who's surfing. As they're gaining their balance and as they're shifting their weight to affect the board in their place on the pipe, or whether they're going straight towards shore and the wave is behind them. Let's flow with the wave of our opponent. We're already pulling him towards our 430. We're going from our 1030 to 430, and we happen to stop and solidify along the way. Let's look at it from this direction, from behind me. Once again, I'm going to strike, and as I rotate, once I get to about my 330, 4 o'clock, I then cinch down, allowing me, I can continue then the flow with my footwork, then take him down. If we continue this in a singular flow, think of it as block strike, and then once I start pulling him to 430, I'm going to go with him like the wave or like the water, and then drop him down at the appropriate time. Now, finding your balance in and through the technique is going to require practice. And feeling the point in which you gain control and then continue the flow. So we call this flow footwork, and your either lesser deflection block, your push down, or your dolphin tail will determine how you respond. A lot of really interesting things in OKO Arm Lock number 10. Thanks, mahalo nui for being here and sticking with Chris for this long. Aloha, mahalo, live pono.